When I was actually arrested, I couldn't believe what I had done. That drugs had actually made me reach a point that was so low in my life that had led me to jail.
And so you have to make up your mind and have those safeguards in place that are going to protect you from falling in those moments of weakness. And we're going to have moments of weakness.
And before I knew it was a problem, I was too far into it to be able to stop.
12 people in this block when I get back on Monday. I'm looking at you, buddy.
When I'm not sober, I mask everything. I'm literally a zombie, but I think I'm okay, and I'm not.
I wish people knew that we're not all bad people. We can be better if we're given the opportunity and the tools to do better. And just a chance.
Then we'll move the scaffolding over here and we'll get brushes and rollers going on the bottom section and you guys going on the top. I'm sorry, I opened
we need to move down. I need to get all the way around these boxes.
We are a month before graduation. This is a really critical point in the program because they're finishing up classes. They're finishing up their service hours. Each individual has to do 20 hours of service. It's part of their moral recognition therapy. It's generally called MRT. And they have to do 20 hours of service. And it's all about learning to step outside of yourself and serve others and feel proud for helping others. So we're really limited here in the jail, so we do a lot of painting. This group of men took it upon themselves to paint the chapel, which was a huge job. They work hard when they're doing those things, and they feel good about themselves. It gives them an opportunity to get out of the block and see a little different scenery than what they're used to. And it instills in them this seed of service. Today, this hour. This one's this hour.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way.
Dispatch 43-1.
4831.
I get asked all the time, hey, is JCAP really working? How do you know it's working? There was one graduate that we had a lot of conversations about his children. And he wanted to have time with his children and wanted to prove, first of all, for himself that he could do this and stay clean, but wanted to be able to have a life back with his 4 children. So a couple days on Facebook, there was a photo that popped up with him sitting on the couch with his 4 children. So he's staying clean. He's having a life with his children, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So is JCAP working? Absolutely, it's working. And that JCAP graduate sitting on that couch with his 4 children doesn't happen if it wasn't for the volunteers on day 1 to graduation, going back and teaching, helping, mentoring. Doesn't happen. So absolutely it's working.
So far, we have graduated 24 inmates from JCAP. Of the 24 inmates who have graduated, 17 have been released from jail already. And of those 17, 12 of them are currently living sober, happy lives. So as the sheriff said, we have 5 who have relapsed, and of course, Shay was one of those. And she lost her life on Saturday, which is really hard. But I will say that it's just as hard to know that there's 4 others out there who aren't successful right now. But we have hope that they will use those tools that they've learned, that they will reach out to the community that they've built, and that they will get back on track. That their failure right now will be short term, and that they'll come back and they'll move ahead. So this gives us a 70% success rate right now, which is pretty good. Other programs in the state run at about 30 to 40% success rate. The reason that we're so successful is because we have amazing community support. This one's yours. I really like that shirt. All right.
I'd say even the first couple months of this program, I was still like lost. Like I was sitting through the classes and I was doing things they asked me to do, but I wasn't fully engaged in everything that they were asking or that they wanted. It probably didn't happen. Yeah, I'd say probably about halfway through the program until it really, and something really, I mean, it was literally just clicked. Throughout my addiction, I've been nothing but selfish. What I want, what I don't want, what I'm gonna do, what I'm not gonna do. But I've missed out on so many opportunities and things with the people that I love. I've missed, weddings, and I've missed babies being born, and I've missed birthdays and anniversaries and Christmases, and I've missed all that. And that doesn't only affect me, that affects the people that I'm not there with. So the selfishness just, I don't know, it was really weird. I kind of just woke up one day and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I just found the entire key to my recovery is to not be selfish. And that's how I've been looking at this ever since.
Devon?
Courtney.
Yes.
Come in.
Okay.
Please.
1 second.
Whenever you're done. It's not like it's a huge deal or anything. I'll put this on this one, and I don't like how it looks.
Okay.
So what should I put here?
Any position available? Any available would probably even be sufficient. Okay? Thank you, Chris. We try to kind of switch things up this last month because we know there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of emotions. So one of the things we do is bring in interviewers from the community. We bring in HR directors and general managers from lots of different types of companies. And they come in, our gentlemen have their nice interview clothes on. They have a resume they've put together through the Purdue Extension Office. They've got an application that they've filled out. They have brief summaries of each of the businesses that are coming in so they know who they're interviewing with. And watching them put those interview clothes on, it suddenly kind of brings the program full circle because you no longer are seeing an inmate in stripes. You're seeing a young man who is ready and prepared to go get a job. And they have their shoulders back. They're making eye contact. They are nervous for these individuals to come in and do these interviews, but they're really proud of their success. They're so proud of that resume, and they're prepared. And it gives me this glimpse into what it will be like when they leave the jail. That they're prepared, that they have this confidence in them that they didn't have at the beginning of the program. It's a really emotional day for me because it's exciting. You get to see kind of the fruits of their labors come out.
So Seymour Midwest is...
Yeah, so read through that, right. Seymour Midwest, read through it so that you're prepared for the interview, okay?
Yeah, that's what I thought they were...
Yeah.
Look at this.
Nice.
This is a pretty good thing.
Isn't it so nice?
It's pretty nice.
Okay, so you hand them that, you hand them your resume. They're gonna look through here, they're gonna possibly ask you some questions off of here. So for instance, if I was interviewing you, I might say, so it looks like you're available for any positions. This is what we have right now. We're hiring for assembly people. Do you feel like that's something you can do? Are you pretty good with your hands to put rake heads on handles?
Definitely.
Okay. And then they might say, I see that you've got a little bit of a history here. Why don't you tell me about that?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
Do we have to?
Well, you can say, this is how I would answer that
Young
question.
and dumb, that's what I would say.
I was young. I made some bad decisions that put me on a really
I
bad
was young
path.
6 months ago, six long months ago.
I have worked really hard to put my life back together. I'm working really hard to make good decisions. I've cut ties with my old friends. I'm leaning on my family and my support system. I've gone through this program to try to help me learn the skills that I need, and this is my next step. That's what I would say. I would briefly mention it, but then I would let them know what I've done to make those
counteract those choices.
Just one? Oh. Okay, so do you want the button still done?
Machine over there, I was a machine operator. I began as a prepper, machine prepper, and then I progressed.
What's been the most fun for you? As far as the job, what you've done?
I'm driving the forklift, that part of it, loading, unloading trucks. I enjoyed that probably the most. I'm trying to expand my learning, and I'm trying to learn about new things and choose a career that I would enjoy and that I can make an actual career from.
I wasn't the kind of hate I like to make sure they know what's going on.
Today we did mock interviews with companies in the community. They helped us a lot. They gave us pointers on things that we're doing wrong, things that we need to be doing, like eye contact. And I really am not big on looking people in the eyes. I guess it comes a lot with drug abuse, the way that I've always condemned myself, put myself down. And they've actually given me a boost. It's, hey, you're doing good.
I can only hope that the more JCAP goes through and the bigger it gets, the more that the community can see they're just like the rest of us. I think that we need to get back to basics. We need to learn to trust each other again. Just because you make a mistake doesn't mean that you're a bad person. The jail, the work release, they've served their time. They did what they needed to do. They need to move forward. If we don't stand behind them, they're never gonna get out of the cycle they're in. It's not them against us. It's we all need to come back together. That's the only way we're gonna solve all of it that's going on.
I've been here about 3 months today. This job has helped me progress in many ways. It's allowed me to buy a car. It's allowed me to pay off my fines from court. And all together just keeps me busy, keeps me mindful. I work with a bunch of good people and they teach me a lot of new stuff. I'm constantly learning here. It's not just a job you can clock in and clock out. Like every day you're progressing, learning something new.
I met Cody when he was in high school. When I was the attendance officer, we had some run-ins with him there. Move forward after he graduates from high school, I run into him again in JCAP. Now he works at FlexSauce, doing a great job. He's a good kid. I know he's a good kid, and I know he has good in him.
Heather actually told me in JCAP that she would not hire me And it was during the mock interview, just by the way I kind of came across, I was nervous.
In our first mock interviews, I sat down with Daniel. I didn't like how he sat in the chair because he was slouched. He lacked self-confidence. He was quiet. He didn't speak up when I asked him questions or he asked me questions. And so when we left the mock interview, I told him I probably would never hire him. Fast forward a few months, I've watched Daniel grow into a person working here at Flexhaust that I didn't know he was. I've watched him become more vocal. Tonight, I watched him make tape for the first time, something he's never done, and he just jumped in and did it. And when he was finished, he actually looked at me and said, "I've never done that before." And I just taught myself. The confidence that was just coming out of him is all the reason to do this. Because if we hadn't given him the opportunity, he'd have never had the chance to do that.
I've got 4 weeks left to work release, and I have to find a place to stay. And I was actually just talking to Heather about it, and she's gonna help me look for a spot that I can afford and that is close to work. I'll make sure I'm here every day. And she's been with us through the whole thing. I mean, encourage us. She comes through every so often, checks on us in the middle of the night. I mean, it's been really helpful. It's really opened my eyes to how many people in the community actually do care and are here to support us and help us through this struggle.
No, you're taking them down with you. Right here in my hand. And I brought a pen so we can do them downstairs too, okay? Are you guys ready to go? Yes. Okay. You guys got all your cards?
You look at all the hard work.
What about those?
You look at the last 4 months, what they've gone through mentally, emotionally, all the hard work, what they've learned. You just hope and pray that everything they've worked for the last 4 months and been taught, that they take that to the next level. It's time to take everything that you've learned to the next level and small steps out into our communities.
So for a lot of our participants, they maybe didn't graduate from high school, they haven't left a job on good terms before, they might in their life feel like they've never completed anything. We hear that a lot. And so for them to have this celebration of completing something that they've really worked for is really important. And it's a good tangible evidence for them to be able to say, I did that.
Graduation is, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. I'm ready to take the next phase of my life, the next step. Ready to put all these tools into use and ready to test myself.
I don't think I've never completed a program outside of here. This is actually the first thing I've completed since high school, and that was, 8 years ago. I guess I would just like the community to know that, there's people inside of these walls that are much, much more than their record shows, or than their mugshot tells, or that their ink-free post says, or that the newspaper says. I'm not going to allow my past to define my future, and that's sometimes hard to do, but through this program, we've just learned to press on and learned that it's not always the end. You know what I mean? There's ways to do things And at the end of the day, you just can't give up.
Learning that a lot of my past has led me to my drug addiction, trying to hide the pain, forget about things, forget about all the ways I've been hurt, and how to deal with those has definitely helped. JCAP has definitely helped with a lot of those. That drug addiction can definitely ruin your life. It has ruined mine in more ways than I would like to admit.
For your love I will go far. I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you. Our love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way. I go solo, oh I go solo. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way.
I don't want something to happen to me and my kids, not be there, not be able to see me, and I don't want something to happen to my kids, or you never know what's going to happen yet. Every day is precious. So I don't want this life anymore.
Take care of yourself first. We know you want to get to the kids, but you got it. It's all about you guys. Because the family's going to come running to you wanting all this, and no. I've got to figure this out first.
Go slow.
And go slow.
I think the reason why I appreciate JCAP so much is because when we're put in jail, we're in an environment where we're completely taken away from the outside world. Because you could take away substance all day long, but if you don't get to the core of the problem, which is yourself, then I don't know what else you can do. So I'm trying to learn how to retrain and reprogram my brain and my behaviors. And I always say intentions and actions, those are two things that go together. And I have all the best intentions in the world. But until my actions follow that, my intentions don't necessarily mean anything. So that's where I'm trying to learn how to make those things relate.
Yeah. Capture us, Mom. It's amazing.
Jeez.
Yeah, that is literally the whole goal of this program is like give you time to pause, think about yourself, who you are, who you want to become, what are your talents, what are your strengths, are you a great listener, yeah.
JCAP is what I'm really liking about it is it's really, the big thing that's reiterated is self-worth continuously, and all of our groups kind of relate, but it's all the instructors and everybody constantly reminds us of our self-worth and what we're capable of, and I know that I always struggled with that. So I would say you don't get arrested, you get rescued.
Yes. We live in such an amazing community that because of our community, JCAP exists and it's able to grow and thrive, and we're making a difference in our participants' lives, but that ripple effect is unknown at this point, and the lives that we're changing because of our community is kind of amazing to think about.